the question was like, what does Mike actually like? And I said, I was like, Mike Santana versus Steve Macklin is like a Gilbert thirst trap. I was like those are my two favorite guys, like in the whole company, like, and they're in the main event of the next show. It's like that's you guys booking for me, like that works for me, like that's what I like. And I said, at the end of the day, I like two badasses, one a heel, one a babyface, fighting for a cause. And they go, well, you would have loved Kevin Sullivan. It's like, you goddamn right I do.
Fuck yeah, Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, it was like,
absolutely.
I was like, every wrestling booker should learn from 97 WWF and 97 WCW and do that, but in a modernized fashion, because it was chaos, but it was like badasses fighting, right, over a cause. Like and everybody had a storyline, and most of them were pretty good. Now, some of it was hokey. You got to have that in wrestling, but not all of it has to be hokey. And for the most part, it can be a serious presentation. And that's what I like. I like a serious presentation for the most part. That doesn't mean you can't do haha stuff. I think that has its place. I think that shit just has to be limited. And the action has to be increased, and the seriousness has to be increased. So that's what I like.
You got it. I agree with you 100%. I think our tastes are pretty aligned. You got to have some humor. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, I think we are an outlier on the network that we actually do appreciate some comedy and wrestling and are willing to giggle at stuff from time to time. But at the same time, like, my issue with like WWE stuff is nothing feels like it has stakes ever.
Yeah.
Like real stakes, like something has to matter. It never feels that way. So that's what I think that we're both men, but you have to feel like, we talk about this in writing, like your protagonist has to have a goal that he's working toward, and your antagonist needs to be standing in his way. That's why pro wrestling is so easy to tell a story. Like, we had some good numbers tonight, so I'll go through this because I haven't done this in a while. A story, and this is not JD Oliva talking, this is Robert McKee. A story is literally, you have a character, they have a goal, something is standing in the way. The stuff, that is the story. That is a story. I think sometimes we, as wrestling fans, see all the accoutrement, the bells and whistles, and mix that up for like being story. That's not story. That's just beats. Those are story beats. People get obsessed over the beats, and if you have a shit ton of story beats that don't go anywhere, you meander and you don't have anything. And I think that's the criticism of a lot of WWE booking. And if you listen to their own fans right now, they're saying that. I think that was the problem with AEW booking for the better part of 2.5 years, was that it was a lot of stuff that happened, but there's no actual character advancement working toward a goal. Right. And I think that pro wrestling, I think, like, you look at, let's talk about WCW 1997, our favorite year.
Yes.
What was the focus? What was the focus of that promotion in 1997? One man had one goal. Sting was going to take out Hollywood Hogan to get, I don't want to use the word revenge because it's too simple, but to get his just due for what they did to him the year before. So everything was driving to that one moment of Starrcade 97, right? Every little thing that happened on the way was a beat in the story. Eric Bishop will take credit for it, but it's Kevin fucking Sullivan, just like we just talked about earlier. That was the focus of that company for a year, right? Everything that happened in between led to that one moment. It is, in my humble opinion, it is the best well-booked company for one full year.
Yes.
Right. It actually starts a little bit over it. It really begins when the three men, the third manhole angle works really well. And then this really goes to the Sting turn at War Games, the fake Sting turn. Right. From that moment on, you have this epic story.
And then to the point, who was booking? Who was booking that?
Kevin Sullivan.
Sullivan. Yeah.
The nuts and bolts. Eric Bischoff can say, "Oh, I had this idea." It's fantastic. Great. Yeah. You can have ideas. Ideas are great. And I hear it all the time. I get people telling me, "Hey, I got this idea for a story." And they go on like The World and like all this. They have like a nut of idea. Like, there's a virus that people get sick when they get a computer virus. Okay. Like, what is that? Tell me a story. Like, who are the characters? What are the stakes? And then they're like, oh, that's the hard part, is you can have an idea, a germ of a story idea. Everything comes down to the guy. Who is the guy? Who is the person that we are focusing this on? And you can have multiple stories going at one time, but like, end of the day, it is A to B, and that is great storytelling. And I think we actually had that in TNA with Mike Santana for quite some time. Like, I think that was a really good example of storytelling. And TNA, I believe no one gives TNA more shit than me, but I think that they did a really good job. They kind of lifted the same structure they had with Josh Alexander from a few years prior, but they did it for a bigger audience. They had more eyeballs on it. So, in pro wrestling, you play the hits, right?
Mm-hmm. You just tweak it a little bit and you kind of recycle it. And they're doing a really good storyline with Steve Macklin right now. He got the fired briefcase, and then he was able to manipulate his way back into getting reinstated. And now they're building. I'm not going to give away what happened on TV. The spoilers are out. I just don't want to do it on the show. But they have some good promos and angles leading into No Surrender, or not No Surrender. I'm sorry, Sacrifice, coming up in March in the main event, and which should be a really good match. Now, guys, I just want to reiterate that conversation I was having was a friendly conversation. Like, nobody was like trying to intimidate me. Like,
Hey, motherfucker,
you need nothing like that. Yeah. So I see some of the comments, like, people, like, they were not being mean to me whatsoever. They couldn't have been like more nice, honestly. One person had some things they want to get off their chest, and it was important for them to do that. And I let it happen, but at no point was I intimidated. Like, nobody was trying to do that. Like, it's not how it goes, right? We were just two men having a conversation.
My guy here is a combat veteran. Like, I don't think Mike's gonna get that intimidated in a professional wrestling locker room. I think you've seen bigger dogs. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, it's one of those things. Like, I tried to fight Akibono one time, right? Like, I'm willing to go into some dangerous situations. Okay, so I was like, fine.
If the chat wants, we should do that story again. Once a year, we should hear the Mike try to fight.
just
Just in case we have new listeners.
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
I voluntarily went into a location where I knew that there was a good chance that I was not coming back, and I did it a couple of times. I've been on convoys. I've woken up to bullets and bombs and dead bodies. Like, I've done it all. I love you, TNA. And look, nobody was trying to intimidate me, but that wasn't going to happen anyway. Like, I knew when I went there that there was going to be people that didn't like me because of my behavior online. Like, I got that. And but that also comes with the territory of being like a shit poster and being a podcaster. Like, especially I'm being critical of very large, very like in shape, athletic, but creative people. And when you're being critical of creative people that could fuck you up, that could turn badly, right? Like, if JD ever met somebody that insulted one of his books, he's probably going to choke him out. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, and that's okay. That's what I'm saying. Is that like, I mean, like, I'm not going to toot my own horn right now, but I have had bad reviews. I've had people tell me this sucks. And I had to say, Michelle, we're still married. You have to like not be so mean to me about like asking you to read. That happened once. Like, no, you gotta, like, when you're in a creative world, you have to understand that not everybody's gonna like it. And if people are really over the top about it, they're gonna get a bigger reaction. And sometimes that's the hard part about putting yourself out there creatively. It's the show too, man. And like, I'll get some shit sometimes and I'll clap back because it's funny and because I enjoy it. But it's like, you can't get personal, and it's hard. Believe me, I get it. When you put yourself out there creatively and you open a vein, because that's kind of what writing and creativity is like, man. Like, you're exposing yourself to the faceless masses, and you have to. I used to read all my Amazon reviews. I look at them like once or twice a year now, because like it would like get to me. I have people like, "This guy's an idiot, man." I'm like, "Oh man, I know," but I mean, like it can get to you, but you can't let that. That's why, especially when it comes to like internet shit stirring, especially podcasting, like I love shitting on Triple H. I get texts from people all the time, be like, "Hey man, can you shit on Triple H on the show again?" Like, apparently that's a bit that I do. Like, a friend of mine, my buddy George, did that last week. The fact that he no longer will stand and do their fake, they can't even do their fake ass press conferences anymore because it hurts his feelings too much.
Yeah, he's so gotten to.
So gotten to, and they have fake ones. Like, he didn't sit next to CM Punk when he was actually having a meltdown like Tony Khan. And Tony Khan's not the toughest person in the world either. But Jesus Christ, like, you get so gotten to that you won't even have your fake little podcast or your fake little presser anymore. Jesus, throw a set.
Yeah, but at no point did anybody say that I shouldn't talk or that I shouldn't be myself. They never said that. Yeah, they just kind of think they're just kind of wanting to hear from me, like where do you actually stand? Because there's been some times where I was like, when they took the belt off Santana and put it on Kazarian, like, and Santana didn't even get a chance to defend the belt, I was like, burn this fucking company to the ground, right? No, I didn't mean that, but I was like pissed, right? And
but that wasn't that the goal? Wasn't that literally the goal of the angle, was to have that reaction from people?
Yeah, and that's what I told him. Was like, I was one of the most pissed out there. I thought all you guys should be cleared out, and then a week later, I find out you're going on AMC. I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna just flip the title right back to Mike. Okay, that makes sense now. And he goes, see, I was like, so shouldn't you just let stuff play out more? And I'm just like, It's like I can only
No.
react to I can only react to what I know. I can't react to what I don't know, right?
No,
Like
don't.
I
No,
so
if you okay,
yeah,
I love Game of Thrones, right?
yeah,
The last season, notwithstanding, last season wasn't great. I can admit it. But before that, when they had Jon Snow die on screen, I'm like, I'm done with this show. I'm out.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
done. I can't fucking take any of these people dying anymore. You beat me up too much. Fuck this. Like that's good. That's how fan reaction should be.
yeah,
The worst thing you can get is apathy.
yeah, yeah. And there's no in between for me. It's either it's fucking awesome or it fucking sucks. That's when I'm talking about wrestling online, right? If I say it was like it was fine, it means it probably just wasn't all that interesting.
Yep.
Like sometimes it's better if it's like really bad. Like this past Thursday they had this angle with do you know who Mama June is? Are you familiar with who Mama June is?
Is that from Honey Boo Boo?
It's Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Oh.
They did an angle with her because
In 2026?
WeTV rebooted the show and they have a whole show with Mama June. Like they're doing, and WeTV is owned by AMC Network. And
Oh.
so AMC asked TNA to do like to incorporate Mama June into one of the episodes to like do a fun angle. So they did do that with ODB and I buried it. But I also understand AMC is writing the checks. You got to do that stuff. Like that makes sense. So that like that's not for me. It's like I understand why it's happening, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to bury it. Like that's just not for me. Like
Oh no, you
it's
should
not
bury
good.
that.
Yeah, it's not good television. Like I understand, do it. Like when you're TNA and like the network asks you to do something, like yeah, you just got to do it. Like and try to do it as best you can. But yeah, for sure.
So I've come around while we're on the subject. I've come around to your line of thinking about Danhausen last week.
Yeah.
That I think it was shitty on purpose.
Yes,
You were
100%.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought after watching and seeing what they did with, because I said in the show, like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll get over it. Just give him a microphone for 5 minutes and people will love him. Sure enough, here we are.
He's no t-shirt #1 seller.
Yep.
Like top of the line merch, and every segment he's in is like as far as like I don't know what social media engagement means, but he's got all the clicks and the views and the likes, but it's leading towards t-shirt sales. Like they got another bookie man, another hit on their hands, like a fun little character that they can do sideshow comedy with. Like he's perfect for them.
Perfect for them. We've been saying that for months. Like
Yeah.
I first like I don't know why you want to do it shitty on purpose. And when I thought about like, you know what, if there's one character that can survive a shitty debut, it's Danhausen.
Yeah.
So it worked. You're right. So I think but you got to realize, and I'll give them credit for this right now, is sometimes you steer into the skid.
Yeah.
And you can do something bad if you understand the reaction is going to be, you know, it worked. It's a gamble. Sometimes that you do something bad and it's just bad and it dies a death. Gobbledygooker, for example.
Yep.
This one probably worked because there's a little bit more to Danhausen than there was the I still don't know what the fuck they were thinking with the gobbledygooker, quite frankly.
Yeah,
Like,
San Diego chicken. Like it just well, what a flop. But anyway, I had a fun time.